Hello everyone, welcome back to Eclectic Alou. This is Alina from Argentina, and today I'm answering a few questions that I received in my Spanish speaking channel that I got that are very similar, and so I wanted to put them all together and answer them. So the question was if you can ever forget that person. Yes, there's hope and you will get better. And there are a lot of people that actually get better after narcissistic abuse. But keep in mind, you've been through something that is similar to being in a cult, so it's a lot to deal with, and you've been manipulated with all the manipulation tactics. Maybe even you've been sleep deprived also. I never talked about this, but they do this. Malignant narcissists like to keep you awake during your resting hours where your body needs to rest. So if you really think about this, you may go through an aha moment, because you will see that, oh my god, that happened. It's they maybe wake you up kicking you. I've heard stories like this, like they can kick you during the night, or they can make noises and storming the room for no reason and pretending that they don't know you're sleeping, or they even go to the extent of saying, okay, you need to go to bed and sleep because you look very tired. But then once you go to bed to sleep, what happens is they storm in the room and wake you up, or make noises in a different room, separate room, so that you wake up, and you don't get a good night's sleep. So maybe this person that was asking me, will I ever forget that? It takes time, and you will forget, and you won't really care, because that was a mask that was completely fake. And so it was an illusion of a person. So on top of that, you're grieving the loss of a person that you thought existed, but it really didn't. And then you have to deal with your own traumatic consequences. Like, this is trauma. It's considered trauma psychologically. So there are a lot of techniques that are used so that you can get better, but you have to go and get a good therapist that knows about trauma, and that knows that this is similar to being in a war, to surviving something terrible. There's this reality changing component that it's sort of as if they try to get in your mind and change something there, and they actually change the wiring in the brain. So that's CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And so it's so complex. There are a lot of variables that you have to overcome in order to feel better, to forget about them and all that, because this intermittent reinforcement also bonds you like glue, it's the traumatic bond. And then this person plays the part of your soulmate with all the ingredients that are there in these types of relationships, and then you are hooked, you're really hooked. And so overcoming all this, first of all, takes time, and second of all, it takes about 2 years. So time, good therapy, and managing your state, your discipline. You have to want to get better. You have to make a decision right now and say, I'm going to overcome this. Affirmations are so important. Talking to yourself, watching what you say to yourself, like having a good dialogue inside your head, and being aware of the inner critic messages, because the abusers put messages and things that you don't even know that you have until later, when you realize that, oh my god, all this negativity has been planted by the abuser. So there are a lot of things that you're overcoming, and I would love for you to develop self-compassion, like compassion for what you went through, and also realizing that this will take time and it will take effort from you, and you will have to be disciplined and every day decide that you want to get better and fight this like you're in a war, because actually you're in a war against this virus that has installed in your brain. Finding a good therapist that knows about this and that is specialized in trauma and knows what specific psychological technologies you need to you need to work on. And but never lose hope, because I can guarantee you that you will forget about this person. Okay, you will evolve into a person that is more boundaried, like he's more aware of that there are actually people that are malignant narcissists that do bad things to people, that go around life and they have jobs and they have friends, they appear to be normal, but they're not. They're psychopaths. Okay, so you will learn that, because before you didn't know. But realizing this realization, knowing that this person that you loved, that you were with in a relationship, is actually a narcissist or is a malignant narcissist, is something that is very, very difficult to really first, like you can say it, but until you really grasp the depths of what that is, like you spend several amount of years, I don't know, let's say 10 years with this person, and you thought it was a completely different person from what it actually is, that person, right? So that's so difficult to really understand, comprehend, and to find the will to let it go. Like, yeah, that happened, so let's work on myself. You have to work on you right now. So first of all, realizing that you went through all that I just described, and that is far more complex than words can really explain, because living it is so more harmful, and it's so confusing. Traumatic bond, cognitive dissonance, the abuse that you live. Your alarm system is hyperactivated. Your hormonal system has changed, and you have to bring it back to calmness. The cortisol levels on your brain and the chemistry in your brain is completely messed up. So it's completely understandable that you're going through this. Keep working on yourself. Don't lose hope, but find a good therapist. This person said she had been in therapy for a year and she hasn't been feeling any better. That's not good. Okay, you have to start seeing changes. You have to see changes, and so change to your therapist. Find someone that is specialized in these issues. Let's talk about what things you can do. Like, I have many videos about this, but you can work on your emotional and psychological state as well as your physical state. You can start by, first of all, change your mindset. You have to concentrate on yourself, Don't worry about that person. Try to, every time that thought comes to your mind, try to shift or make, have an affirmation at hand that will shift your attention to yourself. I have to work on myself. When that, what I wonder, what will I do, no. Go back to yourself and replace that thought with something like, I need to work on myself. Like, repeat it to yourself. And also by doing things, exercise daily, do yoga. Yoga is a great rewirer of the brain, if that's a word. You can, there are studies that show that the brain changes with yoga in a positive way, especially for people that have been through trauma. The leading experts on trauma completely say you have to do yoga or Tai Chi, for example, or things that require mindfulness, to be in the moment, to catch your thoughts, your inner critic, which is completely inflamed and going crazy. Eat well, eat good foods, eat greens. Those are the ones that benefit the telomeres in your brain, and that helps too with trauma. So eat greens, eat healthy, eat proteins during the day, the exercise daily. You have to do that. You have to treat yourself as a very delicate person, because you are right now. You are so you're exposed. I get a lot of clients that feel like they are, like their skin is so vulnerable, that like they're so sensitive right now. It's because you've been battered, you've been kicked emotionally, you've been violently treated emotionally and psychologically. So that's how it feels psychologically, like you are wounded. Okay, so you have to take care of your wounds and do that like religiously. You have to have discipline to do this, because it's as if you have to, when you have a wound, you have to change the band-aid, for example, or you have to change, and clean it daily, and it requires some care. So do the same thing with yourself. But don't lose hope, because I can guarantee you there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you will start feeling better. You will forget the end goal, and it's completely possible. You can do that. You get to that point by working on yourself religiously. Like I said, you are first. You are the most important thing here. And because you are so valuable on this earth, we really need you to be okay, so that you can, share your gifts with others and bring goodness to this world. And so, that's another thing. But yeah, we need you to be okay and to take care of yourself. But answering that question, you really have a great chance. You just have to work with the right people and to do the things that you need to do, and concentrate on yourself. What I can tell you from here right now, concentrate on yourself. Take care of yourself as if you were your best friend, somebody that you really love. Imagine that, and try to take care of that person every day. Like you have to, or even a little child, yourself as a child, take the hand of that little child, and daily when you wake up, take care of that person, and try to do everything that person deserves, right? Like you need to take care of that person as if you were that little kid's parent, and love that person, take care of that person, take that person to therapy, give that person good foods, go to bed early. You have to take care of yourself, because that's the only way, to get better. But once you see that you're taking care of yourself and that you are seeing these results, that you're feeling better physically, you will see that you deserve so much more than this abuser. And then when you see that all the things that he or she did to you, and all the bad thoughts that person planted on your reality changing and all that on your brain, and that those violent things, that once you think about that, you see, oh my God, you start with the anger. You have to process everything. You have to process your emotions and all that, and then magically that person won't matter anymore. I can assure you that. And there was another person that I'm afraid that I might get back to that person. That's what she said, and no, that won't happen if you take care of yourself and if you study this, because there's another phase where you go in the internet to see these videos and see what happens. You need to really understand what went on. Read, get information, and understand that you went through something that most people during their lifetime won't go through. And it's so hurtful, so damaging to the human psyche, that you need to do a lot to recover from this. But you will, okay? And I wanted to send this message of hope, that truly hope. It's not like, you work on this and you get better. The neuroplasticity in our brains allows you to do that, actually, to rewire your brain back to normal. But even better, I would say, because you're stronger, your boundaries are great, you're taking great care of yourself, and that little person that abused you is no longer even meaningful, nothing. It doesn't, that's what happens. That person disappears. Like it's like you see it from another, with another light, and you see it differently, and you say, oh my God, you see reality. It's like once you start getting better, it's like taking a big breath of fresh air, after being in a crowded place, small, crowded, humid, hot place, and then you open the door and go out and take a big breath of fresh air, and maybe the grass is recently cut or something like that, and you can smell the flowers and the recently cut grass and all that fresh air. That's how you feel when you start getting better after narcissistic abuse. It's like you see, oh my god, I was in there and I didn't realize how bad I was, and then when you go out you start seeing there's life beyond that. That's really, you can enjoy life, you can be calm, you can start to, but all this and enjoy things in life. There's life after this, there's good things coming your way, but you need to work on this. Decide that you want to get better and know that there's something even so much better waiting for you after this. You don't have to go back to this person, okay? But you need to go to a good therapist and get the help that you need. That would be somebody that will help you open the door, get the keys to open the door and get out and have this great breath of fresh air, So you need the key and somebody to open your door so that you can get out. So that would be therapy, time, your self-care, mindfulness, being in the moment, knowing what your thoughts are, understanding your thoughts, really seeing your thoughts like a cloud in the sky. That's why we recommend meditation, because when you are in the moment and you know that this is now stillness, you start to see what goes on in your brain as well, so that way you can see the inner critic and all that, and then you can write it down, go to therapy, talk about it and work on that. But yeah, so that's all I want to say for this video, because I felt like I had to answer these people, because they are really struggling to forget about this person, and I wanted to say, you will do this. You just have to work on this and be disciplined and religious about taking care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like the video and click the notification bell so that you can get my weekly videos. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.